what I've learned from social media about going viral is to mimic everybody else. You see all these other people saying to go viral, do this, follow these trends, follow that. It's not. It's just be a copy of someone else. That's literally what it becomes. It's sad and pathetic. It's very rare do you see originality, especially on social media. I find it laughable. There's so many different divisions and communities. So different sort of content creators. For instance, on when it comes to tarot readers, for instance, all I keep seeing is content creators in the middle or the beginning of their content. They'll waffle on and they'll say, "Check out Astra." Blah blah blah. I'm thinking, shut the fuck up with Astra. I don't give a shit about Astra. They're trying to say find out about your future by using this AI tool, and it's like, mate, no one wants that shit. So, like, why do they keep doing it? They must be getting paid for that, and they're not disclosing it. You know, if I was getting paid for something, I would disclose that I'm getting paid for it because, you know, I would only affiliate with things I'm actually interested in anyway. So people could then trust that even if you're getting paid for it, you're getting paid for it because you trust them and you respect the service. I definitely wouldn't. I'm not a sellout. I wouldn't do anything for just money and clout. But then it goes beyond that. You see, I think it's really sad when you see people lose their lives and then other people use that to get clout off that name. And they act like they're doing that in their honor. It's not their honor. You're just completely gossiping about someone over and over again. It's pathetic. And guess what? They make that other people see what they're doing. They see they got attention from it. And guess what? They all do it. And that's why we keep seeing. I'm not even saying the celebrity's name, and shouldn't have to. You know, it's ridiculous. But I mean, everybody would have seen it too, where people are trying to pretend they're giving us up-to-date news information. Yet we've heard it from 50 people before, and we're going to hear it from about 300 people after. You know, but each one of them is acting like they're the exclusive. It's like, no, you're just a copy of the previous one, and then the other one's a copy of the next. It's sad. But they've literally seen that person can get attention, so they want to go viral, they want to get the followers, so they're just going to copy everybody else. So where's the originality? There isn't originality because everybody's recognising it's a lot easier and seamless to mirror the other person. I could do that, but I refuse to be that. I am original. I'm not interested. I wouldn't sell myself out to be to get recognised. I'm not interested in that shit. But I could easily do that too. You can make another profile and just completely mimic what everybody else is doing and get the same status. But it's too shallow. What's the point? You know, I'm seeing people continually singing One Direction songs at the moment. Again, are they singing that because they really want to sing a One Direction song? Or are they singing that because there's a trend and they know that right now that's going to get them status and relevance? Of course it is. Yeah, but anyway, that's why I get really, really fed up with social media because it's full of too many mimics, too much fake, not enough originality. And that's a sad thing, really. If people invest in themselves, yeah, okay, the journey, maybe it's a bit slower. Maybe it takes longer to get where you're going. It's far more rewarding to be recognized for yourself than be a copy of someone else. The way I see it is, it's very rare that someone can copy someone else and be better than the original. It can happen, but it's rare. And the real problem is most of those people would run out of content anyway. Because they need a source to inspire them. But yeah, anyway. I just get really sick of it, and I just get fed up with these people continually calling out services, promoting it when they're not disclosing why they're doing it. You know, it's unreal. There's no one. You know what I mean? It seems quite sinister, really, because people keep calling out this Astra service. No one knows really I haven't even Googled it. I'm not no interest. As soon as someone says it in a video, I switch off. And that's what they're doing to their user base. They probably don't even realise. They might think, why do people not watch the full video? Why do they keep switching off? Well, maybe look at the time where people switch off if you can. And you'll find as soon as you mention Astra, a lot of people are like, nah, bollocks. I don't want that. I ain't listening to this shit. Because you're a sellout. If you're going to be a sellout, be a sellout. And I don't waste my time with sellouts. So, yeah. If you genuinely like the service, then talk about it, why you like it, and literally show some evidence as to why you do. You know, like for me, if I create content and there's like a point of reference, I'll put a window up on my screen, and you'll see what I'm referring to as I talk about it. You know, it's all educational. It's not for me to posture. The other thing as well is there's something about when it comes to morals. There's a lack of morals in amongst people. For instance, I'm spiritual, so I will talk about the spiritual side. You shouldn't be delving at least deeply into other people's energy, so literally their life, without their permission. It's It's the ethics are wrong. It's not done for the highest good. And reality is, when you're calling upon connections and energy, you may be connecting to a negative energy anyway. Somebody could be manipulating in the narrative. That's a thing too. So, I see people straight after a recent celebrity passed. There's a lot of people coming out proclaiming to connect to him and, learning about what he's doing in the afterlife and what. So I said him, but and they're trying to come up with assumptions and they're coming up with this and that. I'm not doubting that they're connecting to him. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But the reality is the ethics are wrong. Let people rest in peace. And if you're going to connect to them in the future, then because you're curious, allow them that time to transition. I think doing it in the heat of the moment for publicity purposes is disgusting and deplorable, in my opinion. And you have no right to be seeking that connection anyway. You should only be seeking that connection if someone has given you permission. Of course, if someone's passed, the ethics, then the rules are slightly skewed. But I think at least give someone time to transition before you start delving. Even in my personal, private time, I thought about it because I was curious of an answer. But then I thought, it's none of my business. I'm not. Even in my personal time, away from the camera, I didn't even do it because I recognised the ethics was wrong. The ethics is wrong. I hold myself to such a standard that whatever I present on camera is exactly how I am in my life. Some of these people, they got, like I just said, none of them have any conscience. It's like they see one person do it. So let's say it's a psychic medium. They saw someone else connected to this person on the other side, or they're connecting to energies or their timelines, and they're trying to seek answers. Someone else thinks, oh, I'll do that. Oh, I'm going to do that too because my people need this. They're asking. It's like, no, they're not. You're a cretin. And that's the thing. My opinion of these people becomes so low. Like I could have respect for them, but I see them do that, and my respect drops. There's a woman that does dowsing rods. Everybody respects that person. Her answers are like, you can just see there's an authenticity to it. You're actually attracted to it. That's the thing. Someone might go, oh, I'm not sure, and that's up to your opinion. But the reason everybody else is so attached to that person is because you can literally feel the authenticity of it, how genuine that person is. It's an aura. You're naturally magnetized towards them. It's because they have that trusting nature. There's a reason you feel that way, because they're genuine and pure. But then guess what? Other people see that person's getting attention for what they're doing, and now they've started copying it. You're watching these other cretins with the dowsing rods who I don't trust because I feel they manipulate answers. They might think, well, why do you trust that person, not that person? Well, because you're copying that person. That person wasn't copying anyone. You're the mimic, and we see through you. Unfortunately, you are the copy. You are not the original. So we do not trust you. Now, someone maybe they go off and do something similar and they are genuine, they're authentic, and they're doing it for pure reasons. If they are, many of us will naturally gravitate to them and say, I trust that person. If I don't have a trust of you, there's a reason I don't have that trust. But the reality is, stop mimicking other people. Effectively, allow that person to shine. You see someone has a platform and they're doing well for themselves, why not just applaud them and embrace it and appreciate it rather than go, you know what, I'm going to copy that. Everybody wants to be in the spotlight. Everybody wants to be at the top of the pyramid. And the problem is they start selling their souls, effectively, their old morals to get there. If you think about a pyramid, there's only one at the top and then it trickles down, doesn't it? Because it's at the very point. But so the problem is people act like they're supporting each other and they're doing well. And but then as soon as it gets competitive, all of a sudden they'll sell their grandmothers to get where they're going. Their true morals come out, which really they were showing before. They were showing before. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I see through people quite quick. So I am good at reading people. And very rarely do I get it wrong. There's times in my life where I've given people the benefit of the doubt because I think, you know what, it's not good to judge people. Judging people is not a really positive thing. But sometimes it's good to have your wits about you because people I've given second chances to, they've always proved me right the first time, So it's like now I learn to follow my gut instincts. And yeah, there's people who, I don't want to say the name because I don't want to first of all give them clout, even though they've got a bigger platform than me. But it's really, I can't be asked of it all. But there's someone that recently got very famous or popular through TikTok through the storm in Florida. And they literally bit the hand that fed them. So the one that was supporting them, they felt they were bigger than them eventually. So they were disrespectful. Their greedy nature showed. They got humbled very quickly. So they lost a lot of things they thought were getting handed to them. And now all of a sudden their persona has changed to be this virtuous person who's really appreciating everything now and really trying to do positive things. It's like, mate, I see straight through your shit. The facade's faded. It's like you didn't win being the arsehole. And now you're trying to get on people's good side and manipulate them. And unfortunately, a lot of people are gullible in this world. And they will leech off them and they'll gain to an extent. But the true colour will come out again because the mask fades. The mask cannot be sustained. So the truth always comes in the end. But of course, people got what they wanted. And that's why they do it. And that's, again, it's the same with a lot of these social media content creators. Is they do the same thing. You know, even if it's a short-term gain, they'll take it. Yeah, but anyway, the records speak for itself in the long run. But I mean, I'd get really tired of seeing the same shit over and over again. It's just unreal. How many people do I need to keep showing me the stories of what's going on here? And it's like Gossip Channel. It's unreal. You know, they don't report it once. That's how you know as well. If someone picks up a topic and they keep talking about that person over and over again or that situation, and it's repetitive, you know, it's like because they know that is the hot topic right now. They will not let it go. That's how you know they're doing it for clout. But again, most of them are. You know, I see a lot of these influencers. I don't like talking about them really, but you know, they're always competing with each other. They'll sort of come together when they need each other, and then they'll have a little tiff because they all want to be at the top. They actually don't respect each other. They always want to be at the top. So yeah, to be really, really popular on social media, the best way isn't to figure out how the algorithm works. It's literally just to mirror the other person. Sad, isn't it? But yeah, it's literally if you sell yourself. But effectively, the problem really is, and this is where people just don't understand, is you have to then live a false persona. You have to be someone you're not. You have to live that now and embody that. I can't even comprehend how exhausting that must be. And that's why you see people have breakdowns. They have little mental breakdowns because the mask gets too heavy to carry and they don't want to lose their status and they worry so much about what other people think of them. So they have a breakdown and so they can't let it go. They can't let the privilege, the status go. So when they get to the top of their mountain, if they've done it in a false way, if people see the real them, then they'll judge them for it. They'll lose everything they have. So they're stuck on this like precipice. And sadly, some just can't handle it. And it's like, if you've just been yourself in the first place, you know, if you're destined to do something great in this lifetime, then it will happen. If you're not, then they're not. But why do we need that level of recognition anyway? Why do you need that fame? Because most people, in all honesty, because I watch people a lot. I just naturally have this gravitation just to watching how society navigates, and it's so pointless. It's this need to have because other people have. Again, it's that mirroring. They just copy. So the real problem is they never have truly a time to enjoy and appreciate what they have because they're always craving more. So if we just use an influencer, for example, you know, that they'll manipulate, they'll disrespect each other. It's just unreal. But they never truly appreciate any of the things they have. It's always more. So it has to be, they have to extend situations and make it more dramatic and more dramatic and more dramatic. Because their spending is out of control. They can't sustain the lifestyle they have. And they can't slow down because if they slow down, they lose momentum. They lose momentum, they lose their status. All of a sudden, they lose their notoriety. Now people forget about them and a new one turns up. I can't imagine how exhausting that must be. The fact you can't even sit still and just live live an ordinary life. I think living an ordinary life is actually quite beautiful. If you can find humility in your life, you can find peace in the mundane to an extent. It's like you've mastered an awful lot. It's finding tranquility with yourself and learning not to be someone else but yourself. You find even your flaws endearing. You wake up and you love who you are. The status is irrelevant at that point. It's like, you know what? My life's relaxed. It's chill. You make it relaxing and chill. And then if you have anything else on top, it elevates your life, but it doesn't take over your life. Surely that's better, wouldn't it? Isn't it better just to have a modest following and just create just because you have a passion to create? Create because you enjoy it, and let it be an extension of you rather than manipulate who you are and then you lose everything. It doesn't make sense. You know, you can have all the money in the world, but when you get to that point of crave spending and crave status and stuff, it's like you never truly appreciate it. You could buy a new TV, it doesn't matter anything. You buy the new anything technology. Then you just start traveling everywhere. Then you just start buying expensive cars. Then you start getting, maybe it goes even further than that, you know, and it gets crazier. And then the problem is, because it never satisfies them, even along the way, they just turn to drugs and alcohol. It goes absolutely insane. So then their highs are high and the lows are low. They can't handle the lows. They can't handle an ordinary life because to them now it's boring. And it's like nothing, it loses meaning. So they have to continually find that high, and then it destroys them because it's not reality. And then they actually resent the people who have control of themselves and can actually find peace in the mundane. To have that level of self-control mastery is one of the most beautiful things we can accomplish in this lifetime, where you can actually cope with very little and find satisfaction within that period. So yeah, the status is irrelevant, and wouldn't say money's pointless, but it's not everything. Handled in the right way, it can elevate your life in a beautiful way. Have beautiful experiences. You can actually help people. I think kindness is a beautiful trait, and I think when you help people and you have a kind soul, it makes you feel good. You're not doing it to gain something. The gain was that you felt good doing it, you know. But again, the selfish people, entitled people, they would never ever understand that. They'll always feel there's an angle because for them there would have been an angle. So the reality is, when you consider people's personalities, their morals, and all these characteristics, do you really want to mirror these people who go viral? Because they're very shallow, and they're not someone really you'd want to change lives with. They may have the attention, but if you actually look at them on an individual basis, look at them behind the mask, and think to yourself, is that someone truly confident in themselves? Are they happy doing what they do? Can I trust them? You'll look at them and think, oh, cretin. Believe me, I see it all the time, and I don't care. Sometimes I have a little check just to see how many followers they got, just out of curiosity. Not in any way am I being competitive. It's just curiosity, and I'm always like mesmerized. I think, who the hell's following this prat? That's what I think, in all honesty. It'll say 750,000, and the next one I say 2 million, and that one I say 50,000, and I'm like, I can't even understand why you're even bothering with that person. But again, that's what people have done, because they're literally looking up to them as inspiration. That's their role model. So they follow them, and they're like, yeah, I want to be able to get to that level. That person isn't supporting you. Rarely is their content inspiring. It's literally there just to manipulate you and give you a false sense of being part of their journey. It's just crazy. But yeah, if you want to go viral and you want to sell your soul, but it's not hard. It's not hard at all. Effectively, it's just like driving a car. If the other people can do it, then anyone can do it. It's as simple as that. If you want to do it, you can do it. But you've got to ask yourself, how much of yourself do you want to sell to do it? I don't want to sell any of me for it.